Last year when I went to your show and you were like, tonight is a tribute to Ike Turner. And I'm like, well, wow, I know Deb has kind of a twisted sense of humor sometimes, but I didn't see her as being the kind of person that would talk shit about the dead. But okay, this should be good. And you were playing music by Black Angel, which unfortunately we didn't have time to get together to get tonight, but I'm sure you'll play it on Wednesday, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I always play Black Angel. They're awesome. With
Audrey Turner singing lead, and you were talking about some of the stuff that you had found out about Ike Turner, and that, in the words of the J.C. Martin clip that we're going to play a little bit later on, J.C. I think put it very well, is that Ike wasn't near as bad as people thought he was, and Tina is not as good as Oprah thought she was. And as you were talking about the facts of Ike's life, is like, let's get the obvious out of the way. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Yes, he beat Tina. He did. He admitted it in his own book that was published in 2001, Taking Back My Name. But the abuse wasn't near as bad as what was portrayed in What's Love Got to Do with It.
Well, there's a story that goes with that and some history.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to realize that this was all happening at a time when, I'm not saying it was ever right to do this, but
right. Oh, we're not at all condoning it, no.
No, it was happening at a time when it was socially acceptable to beat your wife and beat your children.
Right.
I mean, it was. So, it still doesn't make it right. Another issue is that Ike did struggle with a drug problem. And at that time, it was an issue for him. And I've known a lot of people, even taking pharmaceutical medications, they can cause a complete personality change. And in Ike's case, I think that, I don't know about a complete personality change.
Right.
But that's when he was this person, the person that we're hearing about through this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't think he was that way all the time, while he was using. Because the man lived to be what? I want to say 72?
76. He was 76 when he passed away.
76? Okay. If he was that much of a jerk all the time, I think somebody would have killed him long before he ever lived to be 76.
Well, there were a lot of good things about Ike Turner. Now, again,
oh, yes.
Again, we're not condoning what happened between him and Tina or any of his 5 other wives, for that matter.
Well, we're also not saying that what that movie portrays is accurate.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the thing is that there are always 2 sides to every story.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say that the American public has gotten one side of it.
And it's the Hollywood hype version. Drama sells.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what everyone's gotten. And that is the portrait of Ike Turner that so many people have. Absolutely. And I thank J.C. Martin not only for allowing me the honor of playing Black Angel's incredible music,
yes,
but he also introduced me to one of the music industry's best-kept secrets, which is Audrey Madison Turner.
Oh, yeah.
And he also taught me about the real Ike Turner. And I don't have that vision of this ogre now.
No.
I have a vision of this wonderful man that it actually puts a smile on my face when I think of Ike, because I always think of the same thing. And Jack, you know what that
is. Yes, and it's really funny that I'm very, very appreciative of the fact that JC was kind enough to come onto my show and tell the story about Ike Turner and his grandson, which I will be playing.
Beautiful.
I will be playing that clip a little bit later on, and just to hear it. It's a 15-minute clip, and in that 15 minutes alone, notwithstanding anything that Deb and I might talk about between now and then, it will put a totally different perception of Ike Turner in your mind. And what I think it is, you know what? the man was not a saint. Even his contemporaries at the time said he was not a saint. He never said he was a saint.
Oh no.
But certainly there were some good aspects of life of Ike, especially when he was clean. Because he was off cocaine for a very long time, and he got back into using towards the end. And according to J.C. Martin, that's when Audrey left him.
Well, there's a lot of people too, like former Ikeettes.
Mm-hmm.
They have nothing but good to say about Ike because he was so wonderful to them.
Right.
In many ways.
Oh yeah.
Not only career-wise, but just when times got hard, Ike was there for him to help him out. Right. He was a wonderful man. He truly was.
Right.
And he's not without faults. None of us are.
No. I mean, I'd be willing to bet you there's skeletons rattling in every person's closet. Even Tina Turner. But like I said, we'll be hearing about that. Like I said, a little bit later on in the show. So it's an interesting. It was a very. I'd say it was one of the first musician interview. Well, it was the first musician interview that I did on the show, and was certainly, I'd say, probably still one of my top interviews. It's right up there with Pete Berwick, and well, I mean, I really can't pick a favorite, but if someone had a gun to my head, I'm like, the 15 minutes that J.C. Martin was talking about Ike Turner. Yeah,
it was definitely enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to J.C. and getting acquainted with Audrey too.
Oh yeah.
I've come to look at him in an entirely different way, and I'm glad. I'm really glad.
And you've always spoken very highly of Audrey, so I think that's phenomenal. And, when you go to her MySpace page, she's incredibly talented in her own right.
Oh, man. Ike could pick a lead female vocalist. I mean, there's no doubt. And Audrey, oh, God, I love to hear her sing. Her voice is fabulous.
Oh yeah,
and she's a wonderful person too. Really, really a sweetheart. I don't know how anybody could know her and not like her. She's just that warm and friendly to everyone.
Wow,
she really is.
Wow. Okay, now I'm about to drop a Wikipedia link into the room. I'm going to throw a disclaimer in there and say that some of the things in this article are not accurate. It's Wikipedia. Anybody can freaking write it, and quite frankly, there are some things that pissed me off, but there are a lot of things in here that are factual about Ike Turner. So let's go through.
Did Tina write it?
Who knows? But then again, I think it's a sign of the times. It's what the perception of Ike Turner is in the popular media. So, like I said, I dropped the link. I would encourage everybody to check it out. Take it with a gumption, though. But Ike Wister Turner was an American musician, band leader, talent scout, and record producer. Considered to be one of the fathers of rock and roll. His first recording, Rocket 88, by Jackie Brenston and his Delta Cats in 1951, is considered by some to be the first rock and roll song ever. However, he is best known for his work with his ex-wife, Tina Turner, as one half of the Ike and Tina Turner Review.
Is this the part where it goes from Ike to all about Tina, just like his obituaries did?
Almost.
I gotta say, they gave him a lot more than he got in his obituaries. That was actually the reason that my co-host and I at the time decided to do the first tribute to Ike Turner.
Right.
We started reading his obituaries, and there'd be one line, Ike Turner, dead at age 76.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd give one line about Ike Turner, and then it would go on and on and on, an entire page about Tina. And I've never read an obituary where words like ogre and wife beater were used.
Right. But
it was really disgusting.
Which is really funny is that the only decent obit that I saw was actually posted overseas in England.
It was disgusting.
In the Times. London Times, I do believe. I have the link right here. I'll drop it in the room a little bit later. But before we go any further, we're about to run out of the 10 minutes of the recording, Deb, so I want to stop this one and record another one if you don't mind.
Okay.